It says offline here. All right. We are live here on TikTok
and Facebook Live.
How's it going, everybody?
How's everyone doing out there tonight?
We have our daughter's intro music here. She is a singer and songwriter, Sammy Gardner, and she wrote the song out on Spotify. So we're trying to play it a little bit
It's our intro song.
Nice. I like that. I like that fade out.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Hope everyone is doing well out there tonight. It is Wednesday, October 15th. My name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza.
Hey, guys.
We are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza. We're located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, here on the East Coast of the United States. And we come to you every Wednesday from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock to talk to you about immigration law.
And I am sharing everything as you do the intro.
Yeah, she's the tech person.
I'm not
here.
the tech person.
You are the tech person.
Well, between the two of us,
absolutely.
Yes.
And I want to say hi to everyone over on TikTok. So we're on Facebook Live. We're on TikTok at the same time.
And YouTube.
And we like to talk immigration law here. We give you immigration updates when they come up, things that we make sure that we want you to know. And also, most importantly, we answer your questions. That's really what happens here primarily is people come, they have questions, and we try to answer them the best that we can. I got to warn you, what we do here is for entertainment and educational and information purposes only.
Yeah, I would say informational purposes first.
Yeah, it is not. It is not legal advice. All right.
Not legal advice, ladies and gentlemen.
It is not legal advice. All right. So I say we just go ahead and get started. What's happening on TikTok? Because normally there are already a billion questions lined up.
I'm not sure exactly.
I don't see any questions lined up, which is unusual.
Let me see here.
We've got some people that are joining, saying hello, coming in here.
Looks like I need a charge, but we're good. Yeah, people are joining slowly. Hello, okay. Rob. Hello, Dino Marsh. Hello, Floral.
Yeah, maybe.
Hello, Dina Boomer.
Maybe something was just a little delayed.
Yes.
All right. We'll give
I'm gonna be sharing here. Still haven't done that yet, so bear with us as we go. And for those of you just joining on TikTok, thank you so much for coming on and put your questions in the comments. We're ready to rock and roll and go here. We have a couple of updates, but go ahead and get your questions loaded up. We answer them in the order that they're received, so get them in there.
Yeah, so while we're letting more of those load up and saying hi to everybody over there on TikTok, just a reminder, we've been talking for the last few weeks about the naturalization test getting harder, and that you're about out of time on that one. Hopefully you gave us a call a couple weeks ago, but it is getting harder. It's going up to 128 questions versus 100. There are going to be 20 questions that we selected. You have to get 12 of them right. So basically everything doubled except for the number that you have to study. It only went from 100 to 128, but the number that that they're going to pull is doubled, and the amount that you're going to have to get correct is also doubled. So hopefully you took our advice last week or the week before and gave us a call, or maybe you used somebody else, some other reputable immigration lawyer that maybe was in your own backyard. You felt more comfortable with them. That's fine. Hopefully you took advantage of things before, because it is going to get harder, and it probably will get harder yet again. We shall see. I want to note real quick, when I just said that about another lawyer in your own backyard, immigration law is federal law, so it doesn't matter where you are. We can absolutely represent you. We have clients all over the United States, all over the world. You all know the deal now with technology, with Zoom and DocuSign and electronic filing for just about everything. So you don't have to, get in your car and drive down to the local attorney's office with a big suitcase full of documents anymore. Those days are over. If you like to do that and you live in our area,
those days are really
then
over.
Fine. But those days are absolutely over. So if you want to get some help from us, and you're thinking, oh yeah, but I'm here in Tennessee, they're in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that's fine. Give us a call. Not a problem at all. All right.
I think we even have a client or two from Alaska, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And thank you, TikTok. You guys bring its clients from Alaska. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, the TikTok brings its clients from everywhere.
That's right.
I mean,
big reach. Big reach.
Big reach.
Yeah. So, hello to Sanju Sanj, Raul Just, Yuma Tax and Immigration, Ahmad Omar. We're going to answer your questions. Couple of just one thing here really quickly. I just want to, I guess, close the book on Hispanic Heritage Month. It ends today. Today is the last day of Hispanic Heritage Month. And I do want to give a special shout out to one of our very good friends, our late friend, Rocio Catania, and also our friend, Augusto Ratti Anglo, who without those two, we wouldn't be here. The law firm of Gardner and Mendoza would not be what it is now. We would not have had the opportunity to help thousands of Hispanic immigrants. And we are proud to say that we have been able to get lawful permanent resident status for many, many, many Hispanic immigrants. And for that, we are extremely proud. And I know that they are living better lives. They are reunited with their families. They are thriving, and they are supporting our economy. And we're so honored to be a part of that. We started our law firm in 2000, and right around that time, there was 245I, La Ley de la Multa, and so many people came to us, even though we were a brand new law firm. They knew that we were catering to the Hispanic community, and they came out in big numbers. And prior to that, we were actually like picking up our office phone, like, hey, is this phone working? Because we were getting no call. So without the Hispanic community, we would not have gotten the strong start that we did as an immigration law firm and a criminal defense law firm at that time. So shout out to those two who were very instrumental in assisting us. All right.
Yeah, that's right. I can remember meeting Rose in her apartment.
Yeah.
And she would translate for us.
Rocia would translate for us. And Augusto Ratti Anglo had a newspaper called El Eco, Hispanic newspaper. It was the first Hispanic newspaper in our area. And he helped us out with advertising, and he was a really good friend of ours to boot. So,
that's right. It was this time 25 years ago, and we were racing against the clock to get things filed.
Okay, I'm gonna try to scoot over so you can be in frame more, or you scoot over. There we go.
Yeah. Is that better?
Perfect. Okay, so while you're gearing up for just a quick DACA discussion, I'm going to take a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see.
And I'm not going to, don't worry, I'm not going to eat into the questions. The DACA update is brief, but when this, after this
DACA
first
update
question,
is very important.
I will give you
Extremely
a
important.
brief DACA update. All right, for those who are interested.
Okay, this was our first question for today, 00999. How about if someone granted withholding and the reason the case was denied is he did not use the CBP1 app? So 000999, we do not do removal work, withholding of removal. It sounds like what you're saying is somebody was granted withholding, but then the case was denied. I'm not sure exactly what that means. We do have clients who were granted withholding, and we are helping them with that. But we don't do removal work and don't litigate in immigration court. So thank you for that question. I'm sorry, but if you want to reach out to us, we can, and tell us where you are. We can refer you to some of our colleagues who we know who might be able to help you. So please reach out to us. You can reach out to us, guys, in the profile of the TikTok profile. You can give us a call at our office. It's 757-464-9224. All right.
Yeah. Give us a call. We'd be happy to help you. So briefly, because we've been getting some questions about DACA back in the news. I'm not going to go through the entire history of this, but for those of you who know and are following this, we're hopeful, based on what's been going on very recently, that there may be new DACA applications being accepted again. That's what it's looking like is going to happen. Right now, DACA has been in limbo for a long time based out of some litigation out of Texas. And the case has kind of been going back and forth. Some of you may have been following it all along, but bottom line is it's been 4 years since they've been accepting new applications. What's been happening is those who had DACA could renew. They do it every 2 years and they can stay here. They can get a work permit, but they were not accepting new applications. And it's looking like that may change at the end of this year or early next year, where in addition to those who have DACA being able to renew, they will also be accepting new applications with this one really weird little wrinkle, and that is those who reside in Texas will not be able to get a work permit. They will be able to file a new application, but they won't be able to get a work permit. Everywhere else, it looks like they will. So this is, again, I don't want to get into the weeds because it's actually really super complicated litigation. If you're really into this would be a great law school case to study, just to show how
so many
federal works and courts of
Yeah.
appeals and injunctions and all this kind of stuff. But that's not what we're doing here. Bottom line is, if you think you might be eligible for DACA, you think you are, I would start getting your stuff together right now and be ready so that when this changes, I'm going to say that when this changes, you will be ready to go. All right. I didn't jinx it. I really think it's going to happen.
All right. Awesome. That would be amazing news. So we have a little bit of a issue here. We need a charger. This is very what do you call this? Amateur.
Yeah.
Amateur. We haven't had to plug in. We have 2 computers going, guys. We're searching around our office like, where is the charger?
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
Charger could be downstairs. Charger, nope, that's a phone charger. This is pretty funny. Sorry guys, we will be continuing though, but one of us is going to get the charger. And did we mention that we are husband and wife?
Yeah.
And we just celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary and our 25th law firm anniversary. And
Yeah.
John is the getter. So
Of course.
John's
think
going
in
to
most
have to
marriages,
slip out and get something.
yeah. If you folks want to weigh in, I think you'll agree that, yeah, the husband is the getter, right? Okay. I'll be right back.
I'm going to try to answer some questions here without my sidekick. Okay. So our office is it's like a pop-up on the 3rd floor of our home. And we work primarily here actually. And 3 floors, we are up and down all the time. Okay. Let me see here. We don't have any questions over here on Facebook, it looks like, or YouTube. All right. Hello to everyone on TikTok who has joined. Thank you so much. Pop your questions in. Sanju has a really good question. Everybody listen up. Can past detention deny re-entry at airport with a green card holder? Now, this is a question that is extremely important these days, and that is, am I safe to travel and come back in safely as a lawful permanent resident of the United States? Sanju, you're talking about past detention. I don't know if that's immigration or something else, but it doesn't matter. If you've been detained, if you've been through an immigration proceeding, if you've been detained or jailed or arrested or cited or fined or imprisoned or anything like that because of immigration or possibly committing a crime or being accused of committing a crime, you need to be careful when you're traveling. And the first thing that I would tell you is to talk to your immigration lawyer, okay? If you don't have an immigration lawyer, make a consultation with an immigration attorney to assess, hey, are you able to travel with this particular, let's just say it's a criminal conviction that happened 15 years ago. It does not matter when the criminal conviction happened. You need to talk to a professional before you leave the United States and come back in. Thank you so much. We are good to go here.
This sounds like we had our first travel question.
Yes, we have the first travel question. So we do have a multiple point analysis, so to speak. Just a quick one, write it down on a piece of paper, or you can say it in your head and you can kind of go through these things. Number one is the question that Sanju asked. I have a criminal record history. I have been detained by immigration. I have been arrested. I have been accused. I have been charged. I have been in prison. I have been fined. I have an infraction. That's the first question. Should you travel? Ask yourself what those are. Do you have the certified dispositions? Are those infractions, convictions, arrests, charges that didn't go anywhere, are those resolved? Did you pay your fine? Did you trespass somewhere and you had a $50 fine? Did you pay it? Is it done? And how is it showing up in the system? Carry your certified disposition with you if it is finished. If you have a conviction that you believe is over and done with, but because it was a deferred finding, you can talk a little bit about that. Sure. It is not necessarily done for immigration purposes, and it still may count as a conviction for immigration purposes. So a lot of the things that's on the social media where you see lawful permanent residents who've been permanent residents for 25 years and 40 years and 30 years and 15 years, and they're coming back in after a short trip to the Philippines or wherever, and they're getting arrested, it's because of something in their past that they thought was done and over and closed the book on it, but it's not. And sometimes it does have to do with a deferred finding, which can still be a conviction. So can you tell them a little bit about that?
Be super careful with this, folks, because it happens a lot. I practiced criminal defense law for many years, and specifically sort of in the immigration arena, so to speak, in the sense that my clients were non-U.S. citizens for the most part, and our focus in the defense was to make sure that there were no adverse immigration consequences that flowed from their criminal case. And one of the big mistakes that a lot of folks make, including criminal defense lawyers who don't know much about immigration law, is they think that a case that is dismissed after a deferred finding or a finding under advisement or whatever it's called in your state, wherever you are, they think that that's a dismissal and that it's over, that that's not a conviction then, but it is a conviction still for immigration purposes. So be really, really careful with that. Some common examples would be like marijuana charges, where maybe you did some sort of a drug class or some community service, and then you came back and the judge said, good job, dismissed. Or maybe a domestic assault and battery, and the judge said, okay, go to family counseling and anger management and come back in a year. You come back and the judge says, good job, you completed the class, the case is dismissed. All right, those are just two examples, and there are others, but those are the situations where you got to really, really be careful. All right, because you're thinking, oh yeah, no, that case was dismissed. It was for state court purposes. It was not for immigration purposes. And what Radlin is talking about is there are some situations where that can cause you to be put in removal proceedings. But what's really tricky here is that there are some things that don't make you removable, but they will make you inadmissible. So once you travel and now you're coming back in, you're in a different position than you were when you were here. Now you're entering the country. You're knocking on the door, trying to come in, and this conviction may prevent you from re-entering. And that's going to freak you out if that happens, and your family.
Absolutely.
All right.
And give you a quick example, which is not really quick because I don't ever do things quickly, right? When it comes to talking about stuff. But we had a client, a former client, her daughter was a lawful permanent resident. She was coming back into the United States after she hadn't traveled. And this was in February of 2025, so just a few months ago. And she was detained. First, it was like a couple of hours, and her mom was like, okay. I said, well, they're probably just asking her questions. They maybe have put her in secondary inspection. And then it turned into like 8 to 9 hours where they were basically, writing up a notice to appear in immigration court. And she thought her daughter was going to actually get arrested and detained. Thank goodness she did not. It was February, right? I mean, maybe if this happened today, maybe she would have. And daughter had a theft conviction from a long time ago, 7 or 8 years ago, and she didn't pay the fine. She had neglected to pay the fine. It was popping up as, still something that was pending. And let me tell you guys, mom was absolutely understanding, because I'm a mom of 3 daughters, and she was beside herself. She was beside herself. The text started to get more and more concerned, of course. Then she finally called me. We paid the fine for her, and they still wrote her up and gave her notice to appear in immigration court. Fast forward a few months. Well, I'll tell you what happened after that. She went and she was calling different attorneys in the DC area, the Northern Virginia, DC area. And she said, there's one lawyer here, and he's charging me $50,000 to take my daughter's case. And so I said, well, look, let's back up a little bit and let's see really what's going on here. Because the way that I saw this case was not going to go before an immigration judge, because it fell under something called the petty offense exception. And anyhow, we found her a different attorney who was going to represent her in a limited scope and accompanying her to her ICE check-in. So this lawful permanent resident had to go and do ICE check-ins. Anyhow, long story long, they actually dismissed the case against our former client's daughter, because again, they saw it my way.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't represent her in that, but just so you know what could happen. So that was a really good question. That was only the first thing. So the second thing you should ask yourself when you're traveling is, have you been outside of the United States for longer than a year, or even longer than 6 months, where Customs and Border Protection may say, hey, you've abandoned your green card. You're not able to come in this time as a permanent resident because you've abandoned your green card. That's the second inquiry. The third, John touched on this, is any type of marijuana use, marijuana conviction, simple possession of marijuana that may have gotten dropped down from a possession with intent, but it was reduced to a simple possession. How much was it? How much did you have? Do you have proof of, it was less than 30 grams? Because when you're coming in as a lawful permanent resident and you have a conviction for possession of marijuana, but they don't know how, they don't know, they don't know how much it was, then there is an issue. I'm so sorry, we're having some computer issues here. I don't know what.
Yeah, while Radlin's looking at that for a second, I want to add a warning here when you mentioned the marijuana. Marijuana, you got to really be careful, because a lot of states, as many of you know, marijuana is legal in some form, but it's not legal under federal law. So don't be thinking, oh, well, I don't have to worry about marijuana in my immigration case because I live in a state where it's legal. That doesn't matter. Okay, it may be legal in your state, but it is not legal for federal purposes and for immigration law. So, yeah. Oh, did we lose all of our questions?
I have no idea what happened to our friends on TikTok. So sorry, guys.
Yeah,
but we'll continue the discussion here. That was marijuana.
Yeah.
That was 3. Number 4 would be any type of fraud that you may have committed in getting your lawful permanent resident. Just a PC is just a POS.
Fraud in the immigration world, fraud is a real problem in so many ways.
Yeah.
In so many places. So yeah, if you feel like if there was some sort of shady stuff that went on in getting the green card, then
be careful with that.
Be very careful with that. Okay.
All right. So we are loading back up here with our TikTok. So sorry about that. For those of you who were on here, we had a couple hundred people on, and we're still loading up, but that's all right.
So with all these cases again, and I mean, we're an immigration law firm, and so you might think, well, of course, we're going to say that you should have a professional immigration lawyer help you. But it's true. I mean, we've been in business for 25 years, and we have seen so many things go wrong for people in so many different ways, whether it's a friend helping them, or they're just self-filing and getting everything from Google, or they have a lawyer that they know who, does contract law, doesn't really know about immigration, but figures, I can figure it out and help you out. We've seen this over and over and over again, where cases really get messed up, and it's not as basic as, oh well, I missed something, and so I'll just give them a call and say, hey, you know what, I need to get my file back because I messed something up, or I'm just going to go ahead and refile it. I'll bring the amended copy down there today. I mean, you know how this stuff is. If you've dealt with it at all, it takes a long time, and it's like dealing with a black hole sometimes, right? And you have to think in your head, really think it all the way through, all the way into the future, and ask yourself, what's going to be the result if I do make a mistake with this? What if I do something wrong here and this case does not get approved the way I hope that it will? Maybe my fiance is not ever able to come to the US. Maybe I can't naturalize and become a US citizen, but in addition to that, I triggered something that actually now puts me in removal proceedings, and I'm getting deported from the United States. I can survive in another country, but I'm leaving my wife and my children here. They're still going to get up tomorrow morning and have to go to school and go to work and go to their soccer games and do all the fun things they do. Oh, but I'm going to be detained right now, and then I'm going to be deported. So ask yourself, like, how important is this? This isn't just about filing some forms and maybe you get it, maybe you don't, whatever. This is everything. This is huge. This is your entire life that you're talking about, and not just you, but all the people around you. You know this feeling if you were single and now you're married, and you know this feeling even more if you have children. It changes everything when there are other people in your life who you want to be with, who love you, who want to be with you, who depend on you, who you depend on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm just asking you to really run the consequences through your head all the way to the end, and then ask yourself whether this is really something you want to go to Google to do, or AI, or your friend down the street. All right. Again, if it's not us, that's fine. We would prefer that it be us that you call. But if for whatever reason you don't want to call us, make sure that you call somebody who is an experienced, reputable immigration attorney, not somebody who does 15 practice areas, but somebody who does immigration law. Read the reviews, find out who they are and how long they've been doing it and what their other clients have said about them. All right. That's my tip for tonight.
It's a great tip. Awesome.
And hopefully you had enough time to.
Yeah, we're here. We're back here.
All right.
Har's asked this question a couple of times here. Can I go to my home country with a special juvenile green card? You say special juvenile guardianship green card. I'm assuming it's an SIJS green card. Har, is that what that is? I don't know why you wouldn't be. Like, you're issued a lawful permanent residency based on, you got SIJS, and John goes to court and gets those orders signed by our local juvenile and domestic relations judges. So he's 100%. But that knock on wood.
Yeah,
100%, baby.
That's true. I'm batting 1,000 on
we
SIJS
cannot
cases.
Tell you that will also happen with your case, but we do a great job with SIJ.
Yeah,
so Har, I don't know why you're asking the question. I don't know why you would not be able to go with your lawful permanent resident that was issued to you based on SIJ. you've written the question like 70 times. It's all good. You're very anxious. I get it. But if you want to elaborate on that, why you think and why you're asking this question, let us know in the comments. All right. Frank Gomez says, taking my stepson to immigration hearing in Chicago next week. Frank, hopefully you didn't miss what John said. Please, please, please bring representation. Make sure you have an attorney that is going with you. Okay. Good luck to your stepson.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Enjoy Chicago. It's a nice city.
So Tisha says, I-130 of mom just got approved, but the adjustment of status is still pending. It was a concurrent filing. So Tisha is a U.S. citizen. She's filed an I-130 petition, I-45, concurrently with USCIS. The I-130 petition has been approved, but she's wondering, like, hey, what's going on with the adjustment of status? Why is that still pending? So there could be a couple of reasons for that. I mean, I don't see that very often, but there may be something up with the biometrics. Not that there's a bad mark on the biometrics, but perhaps there's something went wrong with like getting her fingerprints, and they weren't able to get prints properly. There could be something on her application that she checked yes to, that they need to inquire further. And they are going to schedule an interview. Again, this is something that typically you're seeing the approval of both of them after you go to the interview, not just the I-130 petition first, but that could be a couple of reasons, Tisha. Okay.
All right, we have no questions on Facebook Live.
It's quiet. It's quiet on Facebook.
First, I don't think we've ever not had any questions on.
Okay,
Facebook.
so we got the focus here. We got a lot of.
All right, I guess TikTok is taking over the market.
Yeah. So Frank says that attorney is filing for a T visa. Okay, great, and won't be at his hearing or entering 3 years ago. Will not be at his hearing entering 3 years ago. Any advice? Frank, my advice to you, recommendation would be ask your attorney if they can get in touch with a local attorney if you're feeling nervous about the situation, to accompany you to that master hearing with your stepson. That's what I would do. Just call your attorney up. Just say, hey, I know you said it's fine, but I'm feeling just really nervous about this. Can I pay for a local immigration attorney in Chicago who goes to that courthouse often to accompany me and my stepson to this? I know it's going to be quick. It's going to be, but I just feel really insecure about this. So that is what I would do, Frank. Like, it might be $1,500, it might be $2,000, it might be $3,000, it might be $5,000, but you just please go with an attorney. And if your lawyer says, "Oh, trust me, you don't need one," I mean, it's not about needing, it's about wanting, right? And to me, it's also about needing. Like, I would want, especially everything that's going on in Chicago right now. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not saying your lawyer would say that. I'm just making stuff up in my mind. So, Car, I think that we've answered your question. I'm getting better at this, right?
Yeah. Well, also we're a belt and suspender approach to cases. And so I would definitely have somebody. Sure. And we did have somebody on Facebook Live that said hi finally. That's exciting.
Hi, Barrett.
Barrett said hi. Hi, Barrett. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, Surmi Sipa has a question here. Is VAWA Advanced Parole safe to travel with? So we don't like to answer travel questions here. Like, we're not going to say, yeah, go travel with your VAWA Advanced Parole. I would get that advice from your attorney, and hopefully you have one who filed your VAWA, who filed for your green card application, who filed your I-131 advanced parole. ask your lawyer whether you should travel or not. Okay.
Yeah, folks, these cases are all fact specific, and that's why we always give the warning that what we do here is not legal advice. It's because we don't know enough about each of your individual cases to really give you a solid answer on it. We're kind of just talking generally when you ask these questions. If you are our client, obviously, then we dig deep and we make sure that we know every single thing about your case. And then we can adequately advise you on, for example, is it safe for you to travel or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
All right. Still
Okay,
no
Malik.
questions over here. It's all TikTok.
All TikTok. We're right here.
It's all TikTok right now.
Okay. So Malik got married in March, planned to file in December because of some reason. What if ICE comes to me? I have no status. So March, April, May, getting married in March?
It says got married in March.
Plan to file in December. I'm a little confused. I'm just assuming that it hasn't been filed yet and you're planning on getting married in March, right? Upcoming March?
I think got married in March, planning to file this upcoming December.
Okay.
What I'm reading.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, great. For some reason, why are we filing in December? That's my question. But let's talk about this next question. Talk about this. What if ICE comes to me? I have no status. So what can you do? You can carry your documents on you that you are married to. I don't know if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. I mean, you always have the right to say nothing, right? That hasn't really been working out very well if you've been watching the news. For people who say nothing, I mean, ICE is going to pick you up. So you need to have everything in order, right? I don't know why you're filing in December. Maybe someone has advised you to wait. You've been married for a bit now. Maybe you don't have everything in order, but get everything in order. I mean, it's October. You can do it earlier, right? But as far as ICE getting hold of you, and I don't know whether you've entered the United States with inspection or without inspection, it's going to be tough. I mean, you can assert your rights not to say anything and not to incriminate yourself if you talk about your status, but there's just not much that you can do if what is happening that we see on social media is actually happening in real life, because it is, right? It's happening. It's being videotaped. It's going to be tough to not be in the detention of ICE if they come across you and they're looking for you and they want to arrest you because you don't have status here. So you just need to be prepared. And our recommendation to you today is just try to get that filed.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know. Like, you got married in March, you're filing in December. We don't know what status you came in on, or did you come in on a tourist visa, or did you overstay? Did you cross the border? What's the basis of getting your lawful permanent resident status? What's the basis of getting your permanent residence, your green card? There's so much that we don't know. And Malik, I would recommend give us a call, and we'll be happy to consult with you. And if we can help you, we'll absolutely book a consultation with you. We'd talk to one of our client engagement specialists first, and they'll ask you some questions. And if it's something that we can help you with, we will book an appointment with you. Okay. So there's a lot there. There's a lot that we don't know.
Right.
Okay. We do have
All right. We have a question here from Barrett. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. He says, I had 10 years ago, I had an issue at the north border, got a betting citation where I paid a fee. So every time I come in the country, I have to go in secondary. Is there a way I can clear it since I'm on a green card? I'm adding a few words here to fill out the sentences. Will it be a problem now if I travel?
So, I mean, we would need to know a couple of things. It's a betting citation. There was a fine. It sounds like something fairly minor, but we don't know. Like, what's the statute? What's the state? What is the language of it? What's the penalty? So we can't answer that other question. Will it be a problem now if you travel? And can you clear it now that you're a green card? I mean, we have U.S. citizens who they have something in their record and they're still getting put into secondary inspection every single time. So it's not a guarantee that just because you have your green card that you're not going to be put in secondary inspection, unfortunately. As for your second question, can you travel? We would really need to take a look at what it was and then go from there.
Absolutely.
But great question.
Absolutely.
Just goes to everything that we talked about, Barrett, in the beginning of this, when we talked about traveling with some potential issues. But take a look at that if you came in late, and you're welcome to give us a call. We'll be happy to help and talk to you. All right.
And just real quick on that, for those of you who are following along with this question, this is a great example of, don't just take a chance and wing it. I mean, this is absolutely a situation where, like I was saying earlier, play it forward and ask yourself, okay, well, what if this really went south? And what if I did get detained and I'm in detention and I can't even reach my family? They don't even know that I got detained. What is a disaster, right?
Yeah.
So why chance that? I mean, without consulting with a professional to help you make that decision about whether it's a good idea or not, or safe or not for you to be traveling. I mean, it's totally worth it.
Absolutely. And for those of you who want to reach out to us, you can call our office at 757-464-9224. And for those of you on TikTok, you can just go to my profile and our contact information is there. You can send me a message. We'll accept it and we'll go from there and get your contact information and be in touch. All right. So just as a quick reintroduction, my name is Radlin Mendoza. This is my law partner and husband, John Gardner. We co-founded the law firm of Gardner and Mendoza in October of 2000.
Right,
this is our 25th year anniversary, celebrating this month. We're going to be celebrating it for the next 364 days. So we will be celebrating it into October of 2026. That will be we'll close the door on that. But thank you guys for being here. If you are not in our jurisdiction, if you're not in Virginia Beach area, Hampton Roads area, we can still help you. Immigration law is federal, and we would love to consult with you and assist you, just as we've done with thousands of our clients who are, living, I'm going to say this is very cliche, right? But they are living their best lives. They have peace of mind. They have their family. They're contributing to their communities. And we're very, very proud to have played a small part in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who are just joining us, also at the beginning, we talked briefly about DACA, and we have reason to believe now and hope that they maybe will be accepting new applications sometime at the end of this year or maybe early at the beginning of next year. So if you are interested in help with DACA, if you've been renewing, that's a different thing. But if you are new and want to file a new application, that's something you haven't been able to do for a while now. We think that that's going to be changing. So start getting your stuff together and call us to see what the eligibility requirements are and what you would need to go forward. And we can absolutely help you with that. All right.
Okay.
You want to be ready?
Absolutely. All right. So Cherkoff says, wait, no.
Barrett says, thank you. You are very welcome, Barrett.
ABDO says, my case has been with the BIA for 5 years. Anything I can do? Whew, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do BIA cases, thankfully. Just because not because they take 5 years. We just don't have that opportunity. Not a lot of cases that end up with the BIA. So unfortunately, I can't advise you or give you any type of recommendations on that. I'm sorry. Okay. You can start reading now.
Okay. Are we up to, I can't even see that. I applied to renew my employment authorization in February and I didn't get
8 months. That's a long time. I would check processing times for that, and then I would make a USCIS 1-800 inquiry because it's probably outside of processing times. That seems like it's outside of processing times. It usually takes like 4 to 6 months. Just because it takes 4 to 6 months doesn't mean it's outside of processing times, but you definitely want to call and find out what's up.
Okay, Yuma Tax and Immigration Service
Okay.
wants to know how long will it take for LPR petitioning for a child under 21 versus over 21.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the 2025 October 2025 visa bulletin. It is, it's taking this is the current one. It's taking a while. So of course you have the dates for filing. You have final action dates. I'm going to give you final action dates, which means this is the date that a visa can be issued. So the F2A priority date is February 1, 2024, and F2B priority date is November 22, 2016. Sorry, not priority date, cutoff date. So your priority date has to be on or before these dates. So F2A, of course, is child under 21, a lawful permanent resident petitioning for their child under the age of 21, unmarried, of course. And the cutoff date for that is February 1st, 2024 for final action dates. And for F2B category, which would be lawful permanent residents petitioning for their unmarried children over the age of 21, the cutoff date is November 22, 2016. As you guys can see, there's a huge, big difference. So if you're a lawful permanent resident, go ahead and petition for your children back home, because once they turn 21 and up, it's going to be much longer. So these are final action dates. If children are in the United States, then you can do adjustment of status if they are eligible for that. I'm not sure how they would be. They could be for 245I. Maybe they're also here on valid visa status, say they're here on an F1, but those cutoff dates for filing are F2A September 22nd, 2025, and F2B January 1st, 2017. And this is all coming from the October 2025 visa bulletin. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, hope that helps. Yuma, Arizona.
Yuma.
Yeah, we had a good law school friend who got married in Mexicali. And I think Mexicali is just down the road, right? Just down the road from Yuma, not too far.
Oh, my geography's not that good. You're not talking to me, are you?
No. I'm talking to Yuma Tax and Immigration Service.
All right. So, okay. Bak Mame says, I have temporary I-551 pending, I-755, 751. Can I travel? So you have filed your petition to remove the conditions on your lawful permanent residency. So you are a conditional resident. You filed your I-751. There are many of you out there who are conditional residents. So this is a very good question. And you got the receipt. Sounds like you also have a temporary 550, well, your I-551 pending. But when you file your I-751, the receipt notice shows that you've filed it and that you've paid, but it is also giving you an extension on your green card. So your green card is expiring or probably expired, but it is typically going to extend that right now. I haven't looked at one in a bit, but right now it's about 48 months that it's extending it. So, Babak, I would I would look at your I-751 receipt, and all of you out there who have filed the I-751, and see how long. So 25 years, right? We've been practicing for 25 years. When we were filing I-751s back in the day, your green card was getting extended for 1 year. Then it became a 2-year extension. Then it became a 36-month extension. And now it's a 48-month extension. What does that mean? It means that they're giving you a lot of time to just travel around with this piece of paper and your expired green card, because it's going to take some time before they get to that. So look at your receipt number. Also, $1 million tip, you can apply for U.S. citizenship even if your I-751 is still pending. So Mabak, if that applies to you, then please reach out to us. We would love to help you file for U.S. citizenship. Citizenship is not getting easier. It's getting harder. The requirements are getting tougher. There is much more scrutiny, and immigration is not just about filling out a form. Okay. So
Yeah.
be careful with
Morning,
the N400.
folks. You know that if you've been watching us for a while now, last few weeks, the citizenship test, the naturalization test is getting harder. And in addition to the actual test getting harder, the entire process is getting more involved, including what they call a holistic approach of looking more at a broader picture, not just of whether you've not done any of the bad stuff that would disqualify you, but whether you've done good stuff that would help qualify you. So make sure that you, again, we love citizenship. I mean, it's a great practice area for, I think, all immigration lawyers. It's very rewarding. And you have to be careful, though, is what I want to say. So you want to make sure you get screened, make sure that you talk to somebody in our office to make sure it's a good fit. And then we can absolutely help you. And now more than ever, you really, again, want to be working with a professional on this.
Okay, awesome. All right, hopefully that answers your question. Jasmine says, my husband is detained by ICE. I'm so sorry to hear that, but we just got the I-130 approved. Is this a good sign? So Jasmine, this is depending on, the scenario with your husband and how your husband entered the United States, probably without inspection. This is a first step in the right direction, that it is approved. And your husband may or may not be eligible for adjustment of status. And then if that is the case, then you would then have to go through the whole National Visa Center processing, and then the interview processing for the next step. So it is definitely a step in the right direction for sure. But depending on what his status is and why he's detained and why he was picked up, maybe it was because he's overstayed or because he entered without inspection. It's still a long road ahead. I don't want to give anyone out there false hopes that just because an I-130 petition is approved, that your husband will they consider releasing him? I don't know. So it just depends on the facts and everything else. But I wish you the best of luck. But definitely a step in the right direction, and also still a road ahead to get everything straightened out. Jasmine, I hope you have a good immigration attorney, and wherever you are, wherever you're located, as they say, a good immigration attorney is worth their weight in gold. So
that's what they say.
It's not, I think that a lot of times people will just kind of knee-jerk reaction. They hear how much an immigration lawyer is going to cost, and they just immediately say, that's too expensive, right? That's too expensive. Last week, we had someone who said, hey, is it expensive to file for U.S. citizenship? And the answer is, like, compared to what? Like, what are we comparing it to? Are you comparing it to what? You have to think about, as John mentioned, what are you getting, right? What value is it bringing to you, to your family, to your mental health, to your peace of mind, your future family, your little children, the children that are going to be teenagers one day and be with their father or without their father? So that is the question. And we're all just kind of accustomed to hearing a price and a fee and saying that's too much. But again, it's what are we comparing it to? And are you understanding the value of what a great immigration attorney can give you? Not in terms of a piece of paper, not in terms of like the green card or the naturalization certificate. It's what that represents, right? For you and for your family. And for our clients, I know that is just, it's relief. It's peace of mind. It's, wow, my mom is safe, or my wife is here. Now we can start our family. Now we can do the things that we've wanted to do. So these are, so just hopefully you have an immigration attorney that's going to help you. And
well, mistakes in your case, I mean, they're fatal at worst and cause long delays at best. So
yeah. Okay. Hey, John, you can get this one from Hoggy.
Mm-hmm. Is aiding and abetting against the law? Well, yeah, if there's an underlying crime, absolutely.
Is aiding and abetting filling up a bag of sugar against the law? It's not, right? So that's a good point. Like, what are you aiding and abetting?
Yeah. But
if you're asking, Hoggy, it probably is.
I'm assuming you're talking about a crime. And yes, absolutely. Especially in federal court, not so much in state, but in federal criminal law, most indictments have multiple co-conspirators, and aiding and abetting is not exactly the same as being a co-conspirator as conspiracy, but they're certainly intertwined greatly. Let's just say that. So if you're aiding and abetting a crime, then you're almost certainly a co-conspirator in the commission of the crime, which is going to land your name on the indictment along with the primary person.
Yeah. Okay. So PKPO2U LAP. My husband is in a detention center and he has BIA pending, or I-130 is approved and 601A is pending. Sorry to hear about your husband. We are seeing a lot of people in detention, and I don't know if you have a specific question. Okay, Malik says, besides marriage certificate and courthouse marriage, what proof do we need to file? So Malik, is Malik the same person who is getting married and got married in March and filing the case in December? Okay. Malik, listen, Malik, I know you are not getting your immigration advice from us on how to file your case and what to file. I'm not even going to answer your question because I want you to call an immigration lawyer. Okay. And I want an immigration lawyer. Would be great if it were us. I want an immigration lawyer to file your case, Malik. Okay. The questions that you're asking, the way that you're asking the questions, like, you are exactly the kind of person everyone here needs to have an immigration lawyer to file their case. And give us a call. We are immigration attorneys. All right.
Yeah, we're really glad that you're here. Don't get us wrong. It's
no,
just
totally.
We see this. We have clients who come to us. Their case went off the rails because mistakes were made. We find out that the way they self-filed was basically by cobbling together a bunch of information from various sites, websites, podcasts, live programs like this, rather than just having a comprehensive look at the whole thing and filing by a professional attorney.
Yep, absolutely. Yuma says, thanks, I'm a licensed immigration assistant. All right. Will it help 23? Oh boy. All right. 23.
We alternate. We take
I'm
turns.
not sure why.
I was on the TikTok monitoring last week. It's a
I'm not sure
lot of
why I'm
questions,
here.
but they come fast.
With the TikTok questions. For you doing this
No,
on
no,
the
no.
phone.
You're answering all
Okay.
of them. So that's good.
So somebody asked, does it help if they are active to 23? Will it help if my spouse is active duty and I'm a permanent resident green card holder if I got questioned by ICE? 23. Why are you going to get questioned by ICE? If you are questioned by ICE, okay, let me stop asking the question, because I think that this is the mindset of, okay, why would you be questioned by ICE? You're a lawful permanent resident. All right, you're going to be questioned by ICE. Will it help if your spouse is an active duty military? If you are getting questioned by ICE, no, it will not help. So if you're getting questioned by ICE, obviously permanent residents out there, please carry your lawful permanent resident card on you.
Absolutely.
And if you are a U.S. citizen and you are, you work in areas where there's going to be high ICE enforcement, just carry documentation. Okay, it's really not worth. I don't want to see you on social media, getting thrown to the ground by ICE and thrown in the back of a U-Haul because you didn't have proof of citizenship. It's happening, guys. So please protect yourself and carry your documentation on you. Now, of course, as a U.S. citizen, as a lawful permanent resident, you don't have to talk to ICE. You don't have to say anything to ICE, right? If they're just coming up to you because, of the way you look, you don't have to say anything to them. You have that right still. But for those of you who, and I'm not judging either way, for those of you who want to just go on your day, just go on your merry way, carry your documentation with you. Okay. But no, if you say, if ICE is question you and they're questioning you about something and you're a lawful permanent resident, the most important thing that you can do is tell them that you are a lawful permanent resident. If you are not invoking your right to not speak with law enforcement, you can just show them your lawful permanent resident card, and hopefully they go on their way. But saying, "Hell, my spouse is no, definitely not going to help at all." Okay, sorry. Hopefully that's not bad news to you. Just please carry your green card on you.
Right. Agreed.
All right, man, there's so many questions and there's so many problems that you guys have,
But unfortunately, we are 2 minutes over our 1 hour allotted time this evening. So we are going to have to skedaddle out of here.
Yes.
But,
and you guys have asked some really good questions.
Absolutely.
Quite on our Facebook and YouTube, but can always count on the thousands of people on TikTok to bring the questions, and we really, really appreciate it. We will be back here next Wednesday, and please give us a call if you would like to consult with us.
Absolutely.
Our office number is 757-464-9224. For those of you on TikTok, just please leave us a message. We will accept it and get your information and be in touch. Okay, so thank you so much for all the amazing questions. I wish we could answer them all, but we have to go have dinner and feed our youngest child.
All right, have a great night, everyone.
Serve dinner to our youngest child.
All right.
We're going to end with our daughter's other song out on Spotify, Sammy Gardner. Check her out.
See you guys. Have a good night. Keep thumbs up, everyone.
Have a great day.
Bring
Thank
the
you so
questions
much.
next week, all right?
Like
Call
and
us.
follow.
Yeah, just give us a call. That's the easiest
Thank you,
way
Lily.
to take care of it all. All right. Thanks, Lily. You too. Take care, everyone.